Hey guys, I'm returning to you in a different setting. It's your favorite recapper, Jordan Ray, and I have a special guest today. So grab your popcorn and your tea and let's get into this drama with me. Who do we have today?
Hello, I'm Augustina, also known as many people know me as MST, unapologetic. It's me.
MST was actually one of the first tea pages that I befriended on the app. She was always very, very nice to me. She didn't originally show her identity, right?
No, I did. I've always showed my
Oh,
identity.
you
I was
have, you have.
actually one of I think only the first and only T page that actually started right off the bat with my face, name, everything.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think the question that everybody probably wants to know is, are you on the payroll for Whitney Wren?
I am not. I am not on the payroll. I
If
wish.
you were,
I
you'd be
wish.
rolling in the dough probably,
Yeah,
right?
I wish.
Well, I'm curious to know what started you on wanting to be like a Whitney Wren supporter. Like, why did your page take that turn towards Whitney?
So I followed all the creators for years, even before I became my T page. And I was watching and I just saw like it was during that time when Whitney was getting a lot of hate. And I saw all the hate she was getting, and it was all just everyone going and ganging up on one person. And
Right.
not that was innocent in everything, but the fact that everyone was just ganging up on her, it was like upsetting. So I felt like, this can be something where, I can stand up for somebody. And I did, and it took off in a way to where people were actually listening and understanding, and it just kind of went from there. But I just really felt like, she needed someone in her corner because I felt like she didn't have anybody that was actually rooting for her. Everyone was just going against her.
Right. Yeah. And you have personal like conversations with her and stuff like that. Like you've created like somewhat of a friendship with her, would you say? Or like,
Yeah, so like I don't talk to Whitney like a crazy amount. I talk to Trayvon. Like I would say I have
Mhm.
a way closer relationship with Trayvon, but like I talk to Whitney here and there on Snapchat and stuff, and like I everybody does know like I did send her birthday gift when it was her
Yeah.
birthday, and I do talk to Mama Ren as well.
Okay, yeah. And they're all really nice people. Like as
They
much as
are,
everybody
yeah,
says I mean, I've personally had no negative experiences with them, but
yeah,
I
no,
mean,
they're all super, super sweet, super
yeah.
sweet.
I mean, obviously everyone has their fair share of mistakes and stuff like that and like not the best
Yes,
choices or, words, decisions, things like that, but ultimately I've
yes,
had no negative experience with them.
yes.
So my next question for you would be, what is something that the people don't know about you that you would want them to know?
Don't know about me. Well, that could be a lot of things. I've
Like
gotten
if
so many
like
different
because
things.
people
Like,
okay, I'll reword it this way. People have really negative ideologies of T pages.
yes,
Because you're associated as a T page, I know you've tried to you've rebranded as like unapologetic MST and everything like that. Like you're no longer like Mama Softy and stuff like that. You even had your name as Augustina and everything.
yes,
What is something that you would want people to know so that they can maybe look at you in a different light versus just as a T page? Does that make sense?
yes. So, like, another thing too is like, I don't think people really realize, like, so I am autistic. And I
Oh,
think
I
that
didn't know that.
also, yeah, a lot of things people don't realize that. And like, I am a late diagnosed autistic, but I think that plays in a lot with me with even being a T page with my page, my posts. Like I try to be as open as I can
Mhm.
with my life experiences, my opinions, but also very understanding to everybody else's opinions. I really like have tried like to not hide anything,
Right.
especially within the TikTok world, because you hide something, people go and try to find
People are
it.
gonna find it out. Yeah.
Yes. But I
Yeah.
mean, other than that, I mean, yeah, I am autistic. I mean, I'm a stay-at-home mom of three.
So
My oldest,
you're a human
I'm a
behind the
human.
okay.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting. With feelings and with emotions and mental health and
Yes.
everything like that. Understandable.
Yes.
And so basically so what made you want to become a T page? Was it because you saw Whitney getting so much hate, or were you already a Whitney Wren supporter and then you saw the hate? Like
So like I
what
always
yeah.
supported Whitney, but I also supported Kristen. Like I
Yeah.
followed all of them back from even before 2020. But
Right.
what made me really want to be a T page was when I started defending her and speaking up for her with things that I was seeing that people were going and just dogging her on.
Right.
And I did. I saw it blew up and I was like, okay, well, I see everybody else doing this and people like it. People enjoy seeing, my different outlook of it and then keeping people up to date with their favorite creators. It was something that I enjoyed because then I was able to make different connections as well. So it was like a
Right.
win-win on both aspects.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And talking about these people, the views are absolutely insane. It's the most, I mean,
Yes.
I know the T pages, a lot of them don't monetize because, have you ever monetized your TikTok or no?
So no, that also is due to my own doing, because of drama that
Yeah.
has occurred. Because when I first started my page did blow up. Like it went
Hmm.
I was gaining followers very, very quickly and very fast due to just talking about these creators.
Right.
And then it switched. Like the whole community was switching to where different people were all coming together, but then it almost became a competition between different T pages.
Hmm.
And I think everyone kind of likes chaos and drama and a little bit in their own way, but it also becomes almost like an obsession.
Hmm.
And everyone started getting so caught up into it. And it wasn't even about the creators anymore. It just
Yeah.
became about
There's a lot of
the
personal T page drama.
different,
Yeah.
yes, all the drama within different people and different friend groups. And due to my own actions, words, and stuff, it it put my own page on a pause to
Right.
where then it wasn't growing and I was losing followers
And
because of it.
a lot of the viewers I've noticed commented not just not towards you, but like in general that they're just tired of the T page drama
Yes,
and stuff. And like that's why my recapping has gone so crazy is because I try to stay as I've been directly involved in T page drama at certain points, and I've had my own drama with friends. But ultimately, when it comes to the creators themselves, there is no like
yes.
argument, like no arguing or anything like that on my page. So with that being said, my next question would be, so you have found yourself in TikTok drama, then you would say yes.
Oh,
And if so, how did you get involved? And without, we don't, we talked about we're not going to be like saying any names or anything like that. We can use like
yes.
code names. Just maybe try to give like the quick recap of like some drama that like you feel has really personally affected your mental health and like why, and let's get into that a little bit.
First started as a T page, I did not know exactly like how a T page was supposed to run. I wasn't a part of like the full T page community as of yet. There
Hmm.
were like a few there was about three bigger T pages that, were some of like the main ones that were well known. And I did make connections with two of them. Um, and through those connections, it started off great, but then it was kind of that's when I realized that certain T pages were more prone and following certain creators. Like certain T pages were more pro Whitney, where other ones were more pro C. And I
No.
was kind of like, well, I'm not really pro anyone. I love Whitney, but I don't have like any issues towards any of the other creators. I just want to I'll call out what's right, what's wrong, but for all of them, and then give everybody, you know, keep them updated.
Right.
And from that, it kind of made conflicts within me and those other T pages because I would defend Whitney where they would go and defend C. And it was like where our opinions didn't match. It was almost to where like, oh, well, if you like Whitney, I can't like you. And it started from there. But then from there, it was then, it almost turned into like, I don't even like to say it, but like almost like a cult kind of thing. So like with me and the one T page started conflicting, and then me and another one ended up getting really close. And from there, I made friendships, which were amazing. I loved those friendships because that's one thing that I wanted when I came on here as a single mom. I stay home all day. I don't get to socialize a lot with adults.
Yeah.
So being able to make friends, and I noticed and realized too is I fall into friendships and I fall into people very quickly, which is something, that I learned I have to not do.
Right.
But from there, I made friendships, and there was a big group of us. Like in the beginning, there was a big
Would you
group
say
of us.
regardless of the falling out, you did like you did um you did like the friend, like you had good experiences with these people at certain points, or like
Yes, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. I will say that every friendship that I've had within this app has definitely, I have great memories with a lot of them. And then there's a lot too where it's just learning lessons. Like, and I see is
yeah,
like, yeah, there was falling outs, but at the end, I take it all in as like, that was a season that taught me lessons and only helped me to not, go back and fall into doing the same things or fall for the same things, and kind of not just trust maybe so easily,
right,
especially when it comes to the TikTok world where we all really don't know each other. We're all
right.
just meeting each other through a screen.
Right, and getting to know each other every single day, yeah,
Yes.
you just never know how it's going to end up and everything like that. Yeah.
Yes.
I will say though that a lot of the friendships that I've made online, while I have made some incredible friendships, there's a lot of shady people on TikTok. I don't know why it's this way. I don't know if it's just this area of TikTok, but I have had a lot of friendships where like you think that like everything's fine and they're talking to somebody that you don't even know they're talking to, and your screenshots are being sent here and there and there. I see it every day, and I've seen it with you
Yes.
where 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, y'all are live and friends. Oh, y'all are live and friends, and then literally 5 o'clock in the afternoon, everyone's crying and
Yeah.
upset and everything like that. And it's the craziest thing I've ever seen, and it's actually just so it's very like nerve-wracking as somebody who isn't actually involved in the drama, because everyone I've met I personally like because it's on like a surface level. I'm not like deep into like friendships with anybody.
Yeah.
So I don't like have issues with anybody, but then it's like it went from like where I could jump from live to live, and like then I quickly learned that you don't live jump, because if you live jump you're watching, and there's just so
Yeah.
much you never know who you can trust. Am I screen recording? Am I causing problems? Like is someone going to accuse me of that? And it's very uncomfortable because of the drama as
Very.
a viewer. So I'm just like, I don't even feel safe interacting, playing the trivia, doing the fun games, the Jeopardy and things like that, because if I do that, who's watching me from the outside of the live? And they're going to think that, oh, well,
Because
she must not like us because why is she in their box and not mine? And not
yep.
that people are like fighting over me like that, but it has happened to where people are like, oh, I saw you associating with this person. Does that mean well, let me tell you what they did to me. Listen, like that's understandable. Like I just want you to know that you're still safe with me just because I'm associated on a live box with someone. I'm not like out to get anybody. I've never have been. Like that's not my thing.
Yes, and that's something like actually I can't even say quickly because it's taken me it took me a while to realize, and it took me a lot of friendships ending to realize like my wrongdoings and I that
Right.
I've done. And it got to the point where I see like, okay, no one is innocent. No one is
Yeah.
innocent within any of the drama.
So
We
you
all
would say that
suffer.
you take accountability and stuff for like what you've played a part in when it comes to
Oh,
the drama and everything.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I can't go and say like, cuz I'm not innocent. I've gone and done things that, isn't okay. I've said a lot of horrible things about people
Hmm.
just due to my own hurt, and then due
Yeah.
to honestly loyalty. And I think that's how a lot of it is we have so many different friendships and then friendship groups, and we're
And
loyal to
I
certain
want you to know
people.
that while I know if when I make this comment, there's going to be people like, well, I wouldn't do that. I don't do that. But there are a lot of people, I would say majority of people who have talked shit or have gossiped or have said something bad about somebody, at least at some point in their life. I know I have.
Yes.
I don't like to gossip and like in regards to like hurting people, like, but I have, like, there has been times where I know that I've done things to, and my heart is not like, oh, I want to hurt this person. There was a time where my screenshots have been leaked between me and a T page, and I was talking about another T page's identity, but at the time I didn't understand what that meant. I didn't
Yeah.
understand that everybody was hiding their identities for certain reasons. I was very new to it. I learned very quickly though, and like it just it everyone has done something wrong in their life, and I just want you to know that that doesn't make you a bad person just because you've done either bad things or maybe not the best things to like your judgment, better judgment. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. It just got like super like it ended up getting so messy to where then like there was these two different sides. Okay, it's all
Hmm.
one big, we're all one community, but then it's like divide, that community has ended up getting divided into two different sides.
Hmm.
And there's been so much of like friendships ending on each side, and then they people are going back and forth, and then it gets even messier. And it's gotten to the point where it wasn't just, there's a difference between talking shit and or even just going and defending yourself with stuff rather than going and doing things intentionally to truly hurt people
Right.
and going so personal. And it got that part, it
It's
got to
so
that
personal to
point.
the point where people are leaking addresses, posting
Yes.
mugshots, taking pictures of people's kids. I mean,
Yes.
every day there is something new coming out still. And I've been involved in this since August, and this is
Yes.
still going on since August.
Yes. I mean,
Every day.
my phone number, my family's address, my children were posted and stuff was leaked, and some of my like, past friends, their stuff was leaked, and it went past the point of it's just TikTok. Like, and at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like, yes, we have friendships made, but do any of us truly really know each other? No, we don't. We've never met
No,
each
you're
other in
just taking a risk
person.
and a chance on making a friendship with
Yes.
somebody who lives on the other side of the freaking
Yes.
country. Like, yeah.
And I got to that point where, like, recently as well, like, a lot of people think, and, for a while, like, I suffer a lot with my own mental health and mental illness. And, I had a lot, like, going on in my personal life.
Hmm.
Um, a few months ago, and a lot of people I witnessed me going through this. And at that time, I had this group of friends that I thought were my friends, and I tried, reaching out and telling them, and to then find out that they were going and not being a friend, but were going and trying, talking behind my back, going and pretending to be my friend at that same time, to then having and then the group chats are very dangerous. Very,
Yeah.
very dangerous. I learned
Oh,
that
yeah.
very quickly.
Hmm.
And it was
There's
to,
literally over like a span of 3 years, I've had my group chats like threatened to be like leaked just over like friendship
yes.
falling outs like every time. And I'm just like, not again. I'm like,
Yes.
please, like
It's
everything that we
so
talk about
much.
is private. Like, oh my
And
God.
that's like
It's
how I see it. It's like, okay, and like for me, like when I'm looking for a friend, I want a friend that's going to tell me when I'm wrong. A friend
right,
that's going to be there, just like I'll be there for them. I don't want a yes man as a friend. I want someone who's
right.
going to be real for me. And I wasn't getting that. I was getting told that told I was loved, told that they were there, but then to come find out that they weren't. And like I said, at that time I was going through a lot in my personal life,
Hmm.
and it all kind of just hit me, and I got to a very, very, very low point to where I did end up having to go to the hospital. um, and it was at that point where, it kind of clicked, where I was like, okay, what is going on? What am I doing? And I had like two good friends that, were there from the beginning, that did not leave, and they witnessed everything that happened and that was going on. And from there, and then and me, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna come back, and I have no idea what's going on while I'm gone, because I don't have my phone, I don't have anything. And I'm hoping, like, I'm gonna come back and everything's gonna be like quiet, like,
Right.
because there's nothing else to talk about. Like, but it wasn't that. It ended up being even more messier. And then it gets even messier and messier. And then more people get involved. And then new drama starts. And more people get involved with that. And it's like literally a weed that just continues to grow and grow
Yeah.
and grow. And with that, like, very recently, it finally, I realized I was fixating so much onto TikTok and onto the drama. It became an obsession. Like, it truly
Yeah.
became an obsession. And
And you get into this like fear of missing out as well. It's really
yes,
hard to feel like, oh, if this live is happening, what am I missing? If I'm not in a box, what am I missing?
yes, who's talking
You
about
become
me?
consumed with being a part of that group, especially when it going
Yeah,
live. It's happened to me before out of this drama. A couple years ago, I had made friends on TikTok that went live, and I would stay up till 7 in the morning on these lives because I didn't want to miss out, because I didn't want to feel like I wasn't included. I
yes,
didn't want people to replace me if I was gone. And I was literally draining myself and not spending any time with my son's father, with anything. And also, a big reason why I was doing that is because, personally, like I wasn't happy in my relationship already. So the happiness that I was getting was from TikTok and like
yeah,
social media and my friendships and stuff like that. But like I realized I was literally like pouring into this cup of TikTok and like giving nothing else to anybody else because I was so dedicated to being on these
yes.
lives. And I don't know what it is about live, but I call it like a vortex. It's like a fever
It
dream.
is.
You
Sucks
get
you
so
in.
sucked in, and
It
I don't know
does.
what it is. I don't know if it's like this, like if it's like a feeling of
The
gratification or
time
like
goes by fast though
time
too.
goes by
Like
fast
it
because you're talking to friends.
literally.
But it's also like cool because all these people are like watching you and like you're like a
Yes.
part of it. Like I like going live because I like to entertain, but it's almost lives have been kind of ruined for me because I know so many people at this point watch and then they're screenshotting,
Mhm.
and it's just like, oh man, did I just say that? Like if I said it that way, like who's talking about me? And so it just makes it so unfun. Like it's just
It
not.
does. And it really does. Because that's the thing is I used to go live all the time. Like I
Mhm.
used to go live, talk about the creators, like what's going
Right.
on, what they're doing. And within getting sucked to all the drama, it ended up coming like not just that it wasn't fun anymore, but it almost became like a fear because it's like I knew, oh, I'm going to go live. Someone's going to come in. Someone's going to start talking. Then people are going to come. I'm going to have people in boxes. Then
And
we're
you
going to
can't
get to,
almost
it's going
help
to be a
yourself but to
whole.
say like petty things and stuff like that. Like I've even heard you,
Yes.
like, and I'm not like calling you out for this, but I've heard you say petty things before on
Oh,
live
no.
and
Yeah,
stuff
I
like that, and then
definitely,
feed into it and stuff like that. And then I'm like,
yes.
oh, well, that's gonna cause problems. Like, you know what I
No,
mean? And
yeah,
not just you, like I've heard
100%.
everyone do it, but like I'm just saying because I'm talking to you right now. But
No, I
um,
definitely 100% have said petty things and done
yeah,
petty things out of just, being in
yeah.
the moment or wanting to defend friends or defend myself, but
And
definitely
when you're
could have
with
done it
friends and you
a
have
better
this
way.
big, yeah, and you have this big group of friends that you're live with, it almost, this is why I wanted to do the podcast too with everyone alone. Because when you have a whole group of friends, you've got that one person who will hype you up to say certain things, or like
Yes.
you maybe don't want to share your true opinion because of those friends and things like that. And like you don't want to mess up, and maybe you don't feel that way, but maybe you have to feel that way because these are your friends and you don't want to be kicked out of the group because there are people like in these friend groups and stuff like that. While there's a lot of great people and stuff like that, I've seen it to where like the moment that there's like a disagreement or something happens, like it's done. And then they are literally friends with the person that they've hated
Yeah.
for months. And it happens that
Yes.
way. And
Yes.
so my next question to ask you in regards to that is, do you have any still ongoing drama, or has it all kind of subsided for you? And also, how would you say being on social media and being in drama has affected your mental health? I know you talked
So
about it a little bit, but like I want to get just a little bit more in
So
detail.
it
Like,
definitely like when it comes to my mental health, like physically, like I'm okay, like I'm way, especially since being on like, I go to therapy, I'm on my medication. I've been doing great. I still
but do
have a
you feel
headache.
like social media is good for you though,
Yeah.
regardless?
So
Okay.
definitely has drained me. And that's one thing is with like like I said, I was becoming like obsessed and becoming a fixate. And I realized like I wasn't giving things that were important in my real life. I wasn't being like the mother that I could be, the wife that I could be. I wasn't taking care of my responsibilities in my life and in my home because
Mhm.
I was just glued to my phone
But
with
sometimes it's like
the
an
phone.
escape from that. Motherhood
It
is so
is.
hard, and motherhood is so like, and listen, don't get me wrong. I love being a mom. But I have a toddler and I don't get out of the house very often. I don't really have a
Yeah.
social life. And so to be able to, like you said, associate with other adults and make these friendships and laugh and talk about like something other than motherhood and wiping asses and doing all this stuff. God, it's so like relieving. And
And
so
when
it's
I
like so easy to get
started,
consumed in it.
yeah, and like when I started, that's like what it was a great escape. I was being
Mhm.
able to talk to other adults and have fun and laugh, and then the drama happened, and it affected me in a way where like I was waking up. I would wake up anxious because I'd be like, "Oh, what's the drama going to be like today?
Right.
Who's going to go live? Who went live last night and was talking?
Yeah.
Who are we going
And
to
when
have to
it's
go
too
live
quiet,
next?
when it's too quiet, you know there's something about to explode.
Yes.
When there's
So
no
like
drama,
the
you know it's
anxiety,
exploding.
the
Yeah.
anxiety of it definitely 100% took a toll. Definitely took a toll to where, I had to realize it's not worth it. Like, and I'm putting my own mental health on the line when and putting giving myself all this anxiety, and then I'm not taking care of my real life things over stuff that's it's not that
It's
serious.
not that serious, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, but you will say that, like, mostly for yourself, personal drama and stuff like that has kind of subsided because you've kind of taken a break from the app, or is there still like active drama going on?
There's still a lot of active drama, but when it comes to my end, I
You've just
have
chosen to kind of like cut it and say,
yes,
I'm
I
done.
have removed myself from it to the point where I currently don't talk to anyone anymore. Like
Yeah.
I'm not in any friend group. I'm not on any side. I don't have any bad blood with any of like my old friends.
Hmm.
I wish everyone well, but like
Hmm.
there's definitely a lot of drama still going on, and there's things
Yeah.
that even I found out that were done to me, but to me and for my own sanity, it's like no, I'm done because it's
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I know a lot of people are really adamant on like telling their truth and like, going live and
yes,
while there's things that like I've told you that like I have a whole story that I could tell about my life and my friendships and my drama and things like that. But first of all, the people on live, as much as like, I got a lot of supporters, a lot of people that I love that watch me and stuff like that, but there's also 50 to 100 or more other people. It's none of their business. You know what I mean? And when you're going live, you're allowing so many other people to
yeah,
come in and have opinions and create more problems. And it's just this web of just constant drama and bullshit all the time. And it
yes.
never ends.
It doesn't. And that's the one, like, and it's sad because, like, even when I first took the step away, I was still talking to, my group of friends, and we still had a group chat, and, it was fine. But, like, I told them, like, I'm not going to be going, like, in boxes if there's going to be, like, drama talked about. Like, I'm probably not going to be very active in the group chats because it's just not worth it because it doesn't do anything. Like we can
Right.
keep going live and keep going live and keep going live and talking and talking and talking, but all that does is then that other side's going to go live and you do it, and then it's a back and forth, and it's like the vicious toxic cycle.
Yes, it's a vicious cycle. Like, and also, sometimes it's not even worth telling your truth and telling your like story and everything like that because
Yes, because
it's
it
just
just goes one
and
way
there's
to
always going to be
another.
people who either believe you or don't believe you. So what is the point at that point? Like you're literally
Exactly.
just like trying to prove your innocence and all this stuff to people who don't even really care. They're kind of just watching because they're there to be spectators and stuff like that.
And it's
I
entertaining. It
and it's
is
entertaining, but I've
entertaining for
come to a
people.
point where I will explain to the people who need to know what they need to know. And other than that, it's that the people who reach out to me, the people I talk to every single day know what's going on in my life. And that's all that matters to me. They know who I am. They trust me. The people who care to check in on you are the ones who know your heart already. And they're the ones who you can be like, hey, look, this is kind of like what's going on and leave it at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And go from there. But like to explain it to people who aren't even
Yeah.
involved and everything like that, you're just creating more drama and starting more problems and everything like that. So it's not necessary. And with that, that's something I've learned, and I would love to know something that you feel like you've learned through this whole experience being on TikTok,
That's
being in
definitely
drama as a T page.
That's definitely 100% one thing that I learned. And it's just, it's not worth your energy. Like at the end, it's come to realize like what's really important. Like if you're on this app to make friendships or to keep up to date on the creators, then keep it at that. It doesn't need to get personal. And that's where I think people are like crossing the line. Like we can all be cordial, we can all coexist
Mhm.
with not liking certain people, and we could all do it. It's just the mindset I think people don't have. People need to move past certain like little petty things and not then and don't go then to where you're going so personal to where there
Mhm.
is no going back from
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't get it. I don't think the personal, private information needs to be released. I don't get it. I would never do that. I
that.
don't
Yeah.
understand it. Like the doxing and everything like that. It just
It's
God, it's
insane.
just a
It's
lot.
insane.
If there was anything you could change, what would it be? If is there anything that you could change from your time on TikTok, what would it be?
I would not trust as easily. I wouldn't have, like, if there's one thing that I would change is just not fall into friendships as quickly as I did.
Right, and be
Kind
as
of,
open with them.
yes, not be as
Mhm.
open and fall into quickly, but kind of, like, I wouldn't, like, I don't regret any of the friendships I have. They all taught me something and they all kind of helped me realize different things. But if
Mhm.
I could go back and just kind of maybe not have rushed things into friendships as quickly, I definitely would do that.
Yeah. No, that is a great point. And also I would like to know while you were going through drama and stuff like that, did you feel like you had a lot of support? Were there times where you had no support and had to experience it alone? Or do you feel like most of the time you've had a pretty good like support system within friends and family and stuff like that while you were experiencing the stuff that you went through?
I would say it would be like kind of there, here and there with it. Like I feel like in the beginning of like a lot of the drama and a lot of the hate that I got, I really didn't have that many people. Like I had I had a good amount of people, but not a lot of people that are actually being like straight up in my corner defending me. But like
Hmm.
definitely towards the end, I've had those certain people that yeah, definitely stood up for me. I will
Hmm.
say though, at the end, I 100% feel that, I've gone and defended a lot of people more than I ever have gotten defended, and I definitely
Yeah.
filled up a lot more cups than people ever filled in mine.
And how did that make you feel, like, emotionally? How does that make you feel? Is that something
Shitty.
you kind of
Fucking
experienced your
shitty.
whole life and everything? Or, like,
Yes, that's definitely one thing that I have to work, like,
I'm the
continue to
same
work
way.
on is
Yeah, I'm the
I
same way. I
definitely,
will give and give and give and literally
yes,
give myself nothing until I explode. I'm the same
yes,
way. Yeah.
yes.
Um, okay, and here's like a this isn't to start drama kind of question, but this is like an I would like to know if you want to answer this or not, but if there's a T page that you feel is beneficial to the app. Like, or is there a T page that you feel is beneficial to the TikTok app that like doesn't create? Okay, no, let me
Okay.
reword this. Do you feel like there's any T page that is beneficial to the app versus the creators? Like a person who makes
No.
the app a better place, and then a person who makes the creators like who's more
Well,
benefit? Like, you do know what I'm trying to ask? I'm trying to ask
yes.
a
So
good
like if
question,
I
but I
were to
can't word
say
it
with
right.
T pages, no.
You think
As
that
far
T
as
pages
I've
don't benefit the app?
seen, yes, as far as I've seen with it just being a T page and being involved with T pages, there with my aspect, when you're a T page, you're not supposed to be biased. You're not supposed to be biased. You're not supposed to put your own personal feeling or like personal
Well, if you do, then
information
it becomes
into
a
it.
fan page. It's more
Yes,
of a fan
yes,
page or
then
a
that's a
support
fan
page.
page. Like if you're going to be a T page, you post what's already out there to keep
Hmm.
people informed.
Right.
Where with now, it's so much where it's either your team C or your team Whitney, and then your team
Hmm.
or team Rachel, and it's so much constant. And there's so many, like all the T pages I've seen have put so much of their own opinion into it that it's almost become it's making it open for people, like you said, to go and have these negative and
Right.
vile opinions to where
Right.
they then these creators get so much
That's a great
hate.
point. I didn't That is a great point because I wasn't even thinking about that because I was going to say, do you feel like the T pages help the creators or hurt the creators more? Because I know a lot of you guys have created your T pages to help these creators, but like,
Yes.
at what point do we say that maybe the pages are hurting the creators more? Because, like you said, they are creating a safe place for hatred for certain creators and a safe place for love for others. And,
Yes.
actually, when I did go to dinner with Whitney, one of the things that we talked about was the fact that so many people comment on her body and her weight and how that affects her mentally and stuff like that. And
Yes.
the reason I'm bringing that up is because I can only imagine as much as strong as all of them try to be and pretend to be. Imagine having an entire page dedicated to the other side, and then their entire comment section on
Is
top
this
of is
hateful?
negative, is hateful, and then on top of that you've got Reddit. On top of that you have the TikTok, Facebook drama group, and then on top of that you have Snapchat, and then like
Yes.
and not only that, not only are there five, four, five, six big T pages, but there's hundreds and
Hundreds of
hundreds and
all the
hundreds
little
of
ones.
little ones. And that's great and all, and I've met some nice young, like nice
Yeah.
regular little tiny tea pages and stuff like that that just kind of want to report on the tea and kind of like get into it. But it's like a freaking like a web of just like, you
Literally.
know.
And then it gets to the point too where then, a lot of these, like, I've seen so many T pages go and make like their own narratives of things.
Right,
So they're taking things and they're clipping things and they're twisting it to
right,
where it looks like it's something that it's not, to then again open up this whole just hate fest on
yeah,
certain or whatever creator that they are going and posting about.
hmm,
And it's become to where, like you said, like it's not now just, it's not giving people like recaps like you do, or just keeping people up to date on what they're posting on Snapchat or Instagram.
right,
It's now just picking on them,
hmm, yeah,
and that's not how it's supposed to be. Like if
right,
I were to say, if there's one person that people like, I would say it would be you. You don't go and you literally just recap what's going on, what's been said on TikTok or
thank you,
with
yeah,
Snapchat, Instagram. Like that's how it should be. That's what
right.
people want to see to keep up to date with them.
Right, exactly. No, for sure. And is there anything else that you would want people to know from watching this podcast about you and everything like that? Or
I'm
do you
not
feel like you
as evil as people want to think I am. I swear, all I wanted and all I've ever wanted, even from the beginning with the drama, is just to, like, there's a big difference in going live, and I've definitely taken part of this, but like there's a difference, and I realize it now, to going on live and defending yourself, to
Mhm.
going on live and then just being honestly a bully and being
Yeah,
petty, talking about people's looks or calling people names, like that's not defending. And I got to a point where I wasn't going and just defending myself. At that point,
yeah,
it was all out of hurt, and I was
yeah.
going about it the wrong way.
It
So
was
like
just a big hurt game, like just a big
it
game of hurting
is.
people.
Like,
Yeah.
yes,
Do you
like
feel like going live and stuff has boosted a lot of people's egos in a negative way?
I would definitely say so.
Yeah.
Definitely say so, because then now there's this whole like, oh well, she's the leader. No, she's the leader and she's
Right, or
running
she has
this,
more
and
followers and things like that. Yeah.
yes, and
No, I
it's
mean, it's
like,
true. And do you feel like, there's a lot of fake pages and stuff that are made about the T pages themselves and stuff like that. Do you
yeah,
feel, would you be willing to say that a majority of the fake accounts that are made by the people accusing the, like, so like when let's say there's, okay, would you be willing to say that that when people are claiming fake pages are being made of them, what percent is it a chance that they've made the page about themselves to create more drama versus somebody actually doing it like they say they are versus a third party making these pages to have that person pin it on you. So do you know what I mean? So like
yes.
at what point would you say if a fake page is made of Jimmy Bob and Jimmy Bob is now blaming you saying, "Oh, MST made this fake page about me." How much of a percent would you say Jimmy Bob made that page just to cause more problems with you versus it might be a third party that you guys don't even know making that page to make it seem like it's you?
Well, with a lot of people, I would say it's a hard, but I would say it's probably a good like 75%. I believe the people that are accusing of these pages are the ones that are actually making it themselves.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that there are other parties as
And
well
it's
that
been
are
proven
going
that
and
there are other
posting it.
parties. I mean, there's
Yes.
been specific people who have been
Yes.
outed for being a part of these fake pages and stuff like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
it's crazy, but
Messy.
I don't know. I hope that, eventually I really don't want TikTok to go away. I really don't.
I know.
I've worked so hard to build a platform and to get to where I am. It sucks that it's supposed to be going away in a few days and I'm just now finding all the
Well,
success in
that's where
the first.
it hurts me for people like with you, like you said, it took
I
you,
don't have bad
you put your
intentions.
blood, sweat, and tears into growing your page and
Right.
growing
And I
your
didn't just
members.
start in August. I've been a content creator since 2021. So I've been
Yes,
doing this for years and I didn't find a
yes,
niche. I was mom content creator and then I was a twerking mom and then karma karaoke and all these things. And I've grown slowly but beautifully. I've created such a wonderful community, but it hasn't happened for me overnight. I'm about to
yeah.
hit 200,000 followers and that's only because I started started posting about the Florida Shores group, and I'm growing at a rapid rate, but it's still not like I didn't blow up overnight. Like,
Yeah.
I'm no Kristen Whitney, any of these people. I didn't dance in a bikini and then blow up. Ain't nobody want to see this jiggle jiggle, okay?
Jaden
Nobody. Yeah,
does.
oh, Jaden. Hey, if you see this, I'm still waiting. I messaged you. Answer. Jesus, you're
Well,
making me look like a
he
fool.
followed you.
He did follow
That's
me. I
the
don't know what he
first
wants
step.
with me though. I feel like I'm jerked around. But anyway, I love you. I adore you. You've always been nice to me. You've always been willing to hear me out. Like anytime I've talked to you about like anything with drama and stuff like that, like anytime I'm like, hey, like maybe we should like if you guys could like
Yeah.
die down on like the bullying and stuff like that, because I don't want people to freaking off themselves. Like you were always very understanding and very kind to me. So I will never take that away from you because you always have, and I've never had any personal issues with you. You've always been like such a wonderful person to speak to, regardless of what anybody else has to say. And I feel that way about even people that maybe you don't like, you know what I mean? And so that's why I want to do this. And I enjoy talking to you. And I've enjoyed our time together. It's been juicy like my ass, but I think it's time for bed. Do you have
Yes.
anything else you want to say before we go?
No, I say I appreciate though you having me, and I really do appreciate what you're doing, and I think it will be really good, even from everyone's aspect, even from people that that maybe I don't, have the best relationships with. I think it'd be good for everyone to be able to hear
Yeah.
everyone's side of things, because I think there's a lot of things that nobody knows, even
Yeah.
with people that hold in that they
Yeah.
haven't been able to go and
And
explain.
I think a lot of people would feel more comfortable being vulnerable. Like I feel like you've been very
Yes.
vulnerable and very like even more like softer and like emotional like throughout this like
Yeah.
conversation versus if you were on live with an entire group of people talking about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And so like I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate you sharing your story and like who you are so that people can have an opportunity to kind of get to know you outside of the T page drama and just being a T page in general.
Yeah.
And I'm just I appreciate you giving me a chance to like help me like with my podcast. You're my first
Of
episode,
course.
so it's
Of
really
course.
exciting. And I gotta end it with you guys stay tuned for my next new episode. Thank you guys for subscribing. I love each and every one of you. And remember, I am not a tea page. I'm just a mom spilling the tea for other moms and nosy bitches like you and me. So I
Yes.
love you, and have a great night, and thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Okay.